Hi, in this video I'm going to show you how to make this cute little box. It's completely sealed on the bottom and all folds together, and then it has this little flower decoration. And this box is one of the free designs that's in ScanNCut canvas in the Brother Projects section. So I'm going to show you how to download it, and then I'm going to show you how to cut it on the ScanNCut machine and assemble it. All that you need is a piece of card or paper that measures 12 inches wide by around about 9 inches. You probably get away with 8.5, but I'd say 9 to be on the safe side. You need a little bit of scrap for the centre section here. You need some glue and possibly a bone folder just to score all the pre-folded lines for you. When you log into your ScanNCut canvas, this is what you should see: Canvas Projects and My Projects. And under Canvas Projects here, you've got all sorts of designs that are pre-made cutting files for you, along with what they call recipes. So basically PDF instructions showing you how to assemble the projects. You may have seen, if you're in our Facebook group, that I cut these straw decorations recently for a party that I was doing. But there's all sorts of things in here, and there's labels and there's doilies and everything. So today I'm going to use this flower gift box. So I'm going to show you how to download it and save it. I've already got my USB stick plugged into my Mac computer here. And then I'm going to show you it cutting on the ScanNCut machine and how to assemble it. So the first thing you do is you choose the design that you want. So this is the one I want, the flower gift box. So I'm going to select that, and then you get this box. You get the recipe, which is the PDF instructions. Now on my Mac, when I click this to download it, it automatically drops the PDF into my downloads folder, and then it opens the PDF for me. And this is the instructions, and it shows you, it tells you what you'll need and how to assemble it. And it says here, use the cutting data A1, which is the main shape, through to A3 and cut the parts you need. Now I found from cutting my test cut that it actually cuts 2 of these flowers. In this PDF it only shows you 1, but it cuts 2. And it shows you how to fold your lines. And there's a little diagram here. So if I zoom in a bit and scroll down, it's telling you here that all the dash lines that are in red are mounting folds. You fold this way. And all the lines that are here in this kind of bluey grey colour are also dash lines, and they need to be valley folds. And I'll explain that more when I show you how to put the box together. So that's the PDF, so you can print that off and follow it if you like, but this is fairly straightforward. And then the second part is the actual cutting file itself. It shows you a picture of it, shows you what it's going to cut. So there's the box, the 2 flowers, and this is the centre. And then again, it's like when you're in Canvas and you've got that big blue button that says download. This is the equivalent. You click here. Again, on my Mac, it automatically drops into my downloads folder, which I'm not sure whether you can see. It's down at the bottom here off the screen. Now, if you're on Windows, you'll have to find out where your downloadable files go. I know on some of the newer Windows programs, I think you have a downloads folder as well. So just have a look where they drop into on your computer. Now, when I open my downloads folder, I've got a blue file here that's called 000048. That's the project number for this gift box. And if I double click to open it, inside there's a JPEG image that shows me how it should look once it's assembled. And here's the cutting file. So I'm going to drag this cutting file onto my USB stick. Now I'm going to double click my USB stick. I've got folders already set up, and I've got one here called Canvas Free Projects. So I'm just going to double click it and drag that into there. and that's now in that folder. And then I'm going to right click and choose eject ScanNCut to, which is my USB stick, and that ejects the USB stick properly. You don't just pull it out of your machine. You can corrupt your USB stick doing it that way. You've actually physically got to close them down. On Windows, you normally have something in the bottom along your taskbar at the bottom, and again I think you right click and it should say close USB or shut down USB or even eject, the same as the Mac, I'm not sure. So that's all closed down now. I'm going to take the USB stick to the ScanNCut machine and I'm going to show you it cutting and how to assemble it. Okay, so I've loaded up my mat with my piece of Stampin' Up double-sided designer series paper and a piece of scrap card. I've got the USB stick in the machine. I'm going to go to Pattern, Save Data, to the USB stick, and I'm going to navigate to where I've saved my file, and it's in a folder called Canvas Free Projects, and I'm going to bring it up. I'm going to, the tiny little flower center, I'm going to say okay, then I'm just going to drag this down to this bottom corner because that's where this piece of card is, and everything else should be okay where it is. I've got the blade set on 3 and I've got my cut pressure on 1 for this designer series paper, and this is my original blade from when I bought the machine, so it's now about 15 months old. I'm going to say okay, cut, and set it to cut. Okay, so that's finished. Now, this designer series paper that's on the mat is more like a lightweight card, but it's not quite as thick as the scrap of card that I've got at the bottom left hand corner, which is for the center of the flower. So I'm going to say okay, and I'm just going to hit the back arrow on the machine, and the main part of the design I'm going to delete, and I'm going to delete the 2 flowers that it's cut out here. And I'm just going to take my blade up, because as I said at the beginning, this is an old blade. And the only thing I've got left on the screen now is the centre of the flower, which it cut originally, but I don't think it's cut all the way through. So before I unload it, I'm going to say okay, okay, cut, and just have it go over this cut again at the bottom here. And hopefully that will have cut all the way through. So I can say okay and unload. Okay, so I'm going to peel it off the mat. And just by cutting that a second time, that's made sure that it's cut through there cleanly. I'm going to put that on one side. Peel those off. And if you're ever struggling getting anything off your mat, bend your mat and air gets underneath it and it makes it easier to peel everything away. So you're not going to be able to see this because it's pattern paper, but basically you've got a score line that runs all the way along here. You've got a score line along here. You have a score line on this tab, a score line on this tab. Now the instructions tell you that all these score lines, you do what are called mounting folds. So with the right side of your work up, depending on whether you're using this is like double-sided paper, I want this to be the outside. So on all these horizontal score or vertical score lines, you make mounting folds, which basically means you fold away from yourself. But this is the bottom, and these little bits that stick out here are the top. And from the edge of these, there are diagonal score lines, and they need to be valley folds, which mean with the right side up, you fold them up and crease them. So I'm just going to start folding, and you're going to have to bear with me, as I say, because they are here, but they're not that easy to see. So I'm doing it on a flat surface and I'm doing them towards me. So this is the right side and I'm making mounting folds, but I'm doing it so that I'm folding everything towards me. And I'm just going to use my bone folder and give those a crease. There's a tab here that has one. There's a tab here. And there's a fold line that runs through the middle. So you need to find that. If you're using plain paper, it would be easier to see. And then you've got tabs that run all across the design, all the way down. So they all need to be mounting folds. This is what's going to make the side of your box. Now, if you hold this with the right side up and this hexagonal shape at the bottom, this is the top. And from the corner of the base of this petal here, on every one of these, there's a diagonal line. And these are the ones that need to be valley folds, which mean you fold these up with the right side facing up. So I'm just going to try and crease those. As I say, I've perhaps not chosen the right paper here to be showing you how to do this, because it's a bit difficult to see the pattern. But they are there, and you make valley folds. And they actually fold down to this first line here. Okay, so what you've got to do now, it tells you in the instructions to apply adhesive to all the tabs. So you've got one on the side, 5 here and 1 here. I'm just going to use a glue runner for speed. And when I did my original box, this is exactly how I did it, and I found it easier to put the glue on all the tabs straight away. So what you need to do now, these 5 tabs here, just fold over so they're not stuck out vertically, so they're folding away. And then you're just going to get this hexagonal bottom and you're going to stick each one down as you fold in. Try and do it on camera. You just place it down, and because you've got the glue there already, obviously if this was a thicker card, I'd use a wet glue, or I'd use Stampin' Up, do something called Fuse now, which is the equivalent of the red tape that you get on a roll. So you put that one in, then you tuck in your side, and because it's all pre-scored, everything lines up for you. And fold in that flap, and then put your hand in to make sure you've got that seam, and then just use a bone folder or something to stick up, make sure all your tabs are down there. Now, because you've folded these as valley folds, if you start to pinch these in and fold, your box all folds up for you. Okay, so there's your box. Now on the PDF instructions, I can only see 1 flower, but it actually cuts 2. So the way that I've done mine, I turn this one over and stick it so that I've got the alternating pattern. Just find a glue foam pad. So I'm going to put that in the middle of there, and then I'm going to alternate it with this flower. I'm going to put a glue foam on the underside of there, and that's the centre. Get rid of that. Turn this over, and then I'm going to line this one up now, this pattern, with the one underneath. Hopefully. And stick it down. So I clear all my debris out of the way, and then you can kind of bring it back up, or you can squash it down. And there's the two boxes. So brilliant little free project already there in canvas, already cut and scored for us. All we have to do is cut it out in whatever paper or card we choose and assemble it. So I hope you found that helpful. Please like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.